so much for taking out time this holiday season and have this conversation with me.
Thank you so much,
Welcome.
Anjali. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Anjali.
It's a pleasure to meet another entrepreneur who's so passionate and, I would say keeps you driving to do what they're up to doing, and you really don't need any energy drink. You can simply wake up and get going with the day.
Yes.
So happy to connect another soul. And we have 8 people live already watching you. So
Hi, guys.
uh,
Thank you. Thank you so
yeah,
much for taking the time on.
for all the support. And quickly for the audience, I'm Ranjini Sanjay, and this is my Real Entrepreneur Show. I have an entrepreneur with me today. And this year, as we are closing, this is the last conversation of 2025. I started with a very tech enthusiast women entrepreneur from Ireland. So now I'm reflecting on when I started this year, and I'm closing with you, Shankar. So it's a privilege to have you. So
Thank you.
go ahead and introduce yourself. Let people know who you are, where are you joining from,
Okay.
and yeah, go ahead.
So, hi, my name is Shankar Ramchandran. I'm joining from Thane, Mumbai, and I'm at my residence right now. And it's 8:30 p.m. I mean 8:32 to be precise. I run a couple of companies. One is a manufacturing business, which I took over. It is a family business which I took over in the year 2008. So I've been running that for the past 17 years. The name of the business is Maze Electronics Private Limited. We specialize in ultrasonic rod and repellent solutions, and our clients include MNCs like Apple, Amazon, Flipkart, Salesforce, Soho, the works, multinational banks like Citibank, HSBC, the works. So we are a part of the downtime industry. We prevent their servers from coming down because of rodent attacks and infestations. And I run another company called Simply Sales, which is exclusively focused on SMBs to help them bring clarity from the chaos as far as the sales function is concerned of the organization. So we have a single-minded focus on transforming the sales function of an organization, and we do that with the help of simple and minimalistic sales software, along with our consulting assignment, along with our consulting practice, which is SSH. So that's what we do, and I've been in this. I've been an entrepreneur for almost 17 years now. 18 is going to be the next year, 2026.
Wow, wonderful. So, Shankar, I know you have a broad experience and varied experience, and definitely this conversation is about sales, and we are here to learn from you. And what motivated you to start Simply Sales?
Well, before joining my dad's company, I was in the US. I was in New York. I'm basically a software guy. I hold a bachelor's in computer engineering. So computers have always fascinated me, especially software. So I started my career as a software programmer in a company called System Stars Group, which is now become Majesco. And then I was transferred to the New York office, and I was in New York for a couple of years. And things were really good. But then I got a call from my dad, and he said that four key people from my dad's organization, who were the pillars in as far as the sales function is concerned, they ventured out and started a parallel company while being in employment and siphoned around 85% of the revenues. So the company was in a really bad shape. Of course, due credit to my parents, they never ever expected me to come back. They just made a phone call and just informed me. And knowing my dad, he was very clear when he spoke on the phone that I'm not expecting you to come back. But then you get to, you, I mean, your parents have always done so much for you. So this is the right time to reciprocate. So it was like a clear choice. So with the support of my wife, of course, I winded everything down in the US and came back, and I took over the company. But then when I saw what was happening in the company, things weren't very cool because the people were scared because they didn't know what their future is going to be. And a typical MSME organization in India, there was no process, there was no technology, everything was on paper. People were sending out quotations, making computations on calculators in Microsoft Word. It was a very bad state of affairs. I will say bad But that's where the people were. That's how the people were working because they didn't have that exposure to the processes and they weren't mentored right as people, and the technology wasn't, that seamless to support them. So then I came in, and subsequently I uh, took over the reins of the business. I turned it around in another 3 years. And then what happened was when structure and clarity came into play, and I started mentoring people, aligned them with the process, bought in simple tech. I just upgraded them from Microsoft Word to Excel with some basic automation and formulas. So they were pretty much excited about it, and they embraced it totally. So then, after 2, 3 years, what happened was when things started running smoothly, I was having conversations with our vendor partners, distributors. So they used to see that, how hands-on I was in terms of, everything structured, and I knew everything. And whenever I was having any meetings with them, I was hardly getting any phone calls from my team that, okay, what do I do here? What do I do here? There was nothing. This is the decision framework, if you will, was clear, and they knew exactly what to do, and they knew exactly when to call, which was very rare. So then people started asking me that, okay, how do you actually do this? So I just told them that this is a very basic, simple process that I follow, which is the method, which is the foundation of our consulting practice, which is people, process, and technology. So I shared that with them. So then they started asking me that, why don't you do it for our company? So Simply Sales wasn't a company then. It was basically I was helping my mentors, which made me realize that this is not a sales problem. It's basically a structure problem. So, which in turn, you know,
Yeah.
bring me to found this company called Simply Sales. Yeah.
So somewhere, you had this, foundation of you creating those systems and structures
Oh
and
yeah, absolutely,
that, and people could see, and that gave the foundation for Simply Sales.
absolutely.
So to get started with, definitely there is a personal story attached to the, founding of this new company that you are right now fully focused on.
Yeah,
And when you say to sell is human, and when it comes to, to the current business environment and the structure, and the process side of it, people side of it,
yeah.
can you give us a, clear gap kind of an, like what you see is going on right now?
See, I have subscribed to this principle for almost 17 years since I've been running companies. That we are not in the product business, we are not in the service business, we are in the people business.
Wow.
I firmly believe that. And it sounds like a cliche that if you take care of your people, they will take care of your company. That's a fact because I've lived it for 17 years. So, whatever I do, the first thing that I think about is my people,
Hmm.
because everything will fall short if the people don't fall in line. And in my companies, we have a concept of ACDC. So let's say we start something new. So I bring in the key people. So
Hmm.
the way it works is I have a key team, so around 7, 8 people. I think they might be online right now watching this. So hi guys, if you're actually watching it. So the 7, 8 guys, I bring them in, and we brainstorm on stuff that needs to be done. Of course, there might be people who will agree. Some people who might say that no, I don't buy this. So there's a concept of AC and DC. So when then we take a vote. So if AC means agree and commit,
Okay.
DC means disagree and commit, but we commit.
Wonderful.
Okay. So, and this I actually borrowed from one of the books of Jeff Bezos' letters to his shareholders. So I borrowed this concept from there, and
Hmm.
my team has agreed to this. So the key factor, what I always say is people first, always,
Hmm.
always, always, always. Then you bring in the process,
Hmm.
because the people are the actors in the process. So if your actors are not aligned, then the process will always fall short. And then the technology comes in which enables them to which supports both these aspects.
Hmm.
So this is how I always structure anything and everything we do in business. So today we have just singled out that concept on only the sales function of the organization per se, but
Hmm.
then this I believe is significantly important. So to all the leaders and founders out there, spend some time with your people. You got to spend time with your people. You got to understand, where the problems are, and you as a founder should solve your people's problems, and then eventually they'll solve your company's problems. And that's I am a firm believer of that.
That's beautiful. So, you know, we say, no, leaders for people, we call
Yes,
it, or
yes,
people's
yes,
leader, no?
yes,
So
yes,
your priority is people, and
always.
then comes the process
Yes,
and
and then finally the technology. Today, unfortunately, people feel technology is a magic wand. You just sprinkle it across the organization and things will fall into place. But it doesn't happen that way.
So, moving on, it's a beautiful, no, perspective of founders for people to know, because founders are pretty overloaded with a lot of stuffs.
Yeah,
Having this clarity, this conversation will give them, maybe navigate next things in the coming new year.
yeah.
But to start with, like, what human qualities do you believe matter more than technique when it comes to selling?
Okay, first and foremost is empathy.
Hmm.
Empathy towards your customers, and a clear value proposition should be there. In fact, the a new demand that is coming up in the era of AI is storytelling.
Hmm.
You don't go and talk about features and products, and this is what our product do, da 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 da, these are the features. No, 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 no. First and foremost, you listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen before you advise. You get to know the context, because see, your product might be having like 15, 20 features. Okay, agree.
Hmm.
But then from the context of the customer, probably five matter. But if you start your pitch listing out the 20 features, what you eventually do is you're going to overwhelm your prospect.
Yeah.
But once you listen to their side of the story and genuinely listen, start taking notes and asking them rhetorical questions, or summarizing the conversation every now and then, just to ensure that they are on the same page, that we both are on the same page. And then eventually map that context to your solution or to your offering, and stating that, okay, with these five things in our product, this is what your problems are, which I hope I understood right, and this is how we solve it. So storytelling is very important. Empathy is very important. You've got to take them to a place where they are actually experiencing your product and actually experiencing the solutions to the problems which they have highlighted in the conversation. That's one. And you got to be absolutely empathetic. And again, a cliche: you got 2 ears and one mouth. You got to listen twice then as much as you speak.
Yeah.
So these are the two fundamental skills. Apart from, I mean, I'm not going to get into the details of
Yeah,
soft
yeah,
skills
definitely.
and
This is,
the eye contact and all that. This is I'm just talking basic, clean
yeah,
selling. And yes, your documentation has to be very precise. The terms and conditions have to be very precise. Please don't hoodwink your customers, because that's a reputation which unfortunately sales guys carry. And unfortunately, it's not. I believe it's not a sales guy problem; it's a leadership problem. That's a totally different conversation for some other day. But I believe the conversations, the documentation, everything has to be precise and clear, and you don't back off from your word, because that's how you build trust. And you can always lose money. I mean, like Warren Buffett says, I mean, we can afford to lose millions of dollars, but we can't afford to lose a shred of reputation. So if you commit to a customer, even if the deal is at a loss, honor it. Period. Because eventually it's going to work itself out. It's like an Amazon's returns policy, right? I mean, how many products do actually get returned? Even if they get returned, the whole is greater than the sum of parts. So it's like jazz music. One person playing the cello is not going to have a significant impact on the output of the jazz. When everybody comes together in unison, that's when the magic of jazz happens. So the whole will always be greater than the sum of parts. So to summarize, you got to be empathetic. You got to sell a story instead of selling your products and features. Be ruthlessly authentic in your documentation. Be precise. There shouldn't be any hidden terms and conditions. Walk the customer through that, and honor the deal.
wow.
Yeah.
Very beautiful points. No, even if people could have heard this part, they could have got it.
Yeah.
So moving on, let's say, like, we talk about people, we talk about structure and process. So many teams resist structure when it comes to sales. I don't know whether you have an experience, but w- a clear process actually, liberates. Actually, is a liberating thing rather than a limiting thing. Do you agree?
Absolutely. 100%.
Wonderful. So. What are the non-negotiable elements for a simple, effective, and effective sales process, according to you? Or give us a background from how simply sales does this for SMEs or the people that you support. So give us a background about that.
Okay, so this is going to be a little long answer. So
No problem. No problem.
so the way it works is, as I say, see again, even at the risk of sounding repetitive, I'm going to really shout out on that framework of ours, which is people, process, and technology. Okay, so it doesn't start with process. It first starts with interviewing the people. And so whenever we build our solutions, it's never with just the founder. The founder will set the vision. Okay, this is what I want to do, and we will help the founder crystallize the vision. And once that is in place, that's when we bring in the team and the founder comes in. And that's when we speak with the team. So we interview the people, we ask them, okay, how do you sell today? And the most common question we ask is, if I ask you to, tell about your process in 5 minutes, will you be able to do that? Majority will say no, because decision making that is happening before our intervention is predominantly on a dynamic basis. So the founder is firefighting almost every day.
Yeah.
So like they get a call, sir, this has happened, ma'am, this has happened. What do I do? Okay, you do this. So everything is in the founder's head. So first and foremost, we have to get that out of the founder's head.
Hmm.
So we got to put it on a piece of paper, and then we have to show it to the team that this is how your boss does it today. So will
Hmm.
you guys be able to do that? So they'll say that, okay, yeah, we'll be able to do that. So then we say that, okay, how do we put a structure? How about we put a structure behind this? Because this is how your boss is actually going to do it. And now you guys have aligned with us, with your capabilities that, okay, I am capable this much technically, I am capable this much process wise, I'm capable this much product
Hmm.
wise. Okay, but the boss is supposedly to
Yeah.
be master of all.
Yes.
Okay? So everything comes into paper. And then what happens is we align everything. And the most important thing, as I again say, there is a sign off from the team. It is not something that happens in a closed cabin with the founder and then the team is brought into a conference room and then a presentation comes in. Okay, we have been going in direction X from this day. Now we are going to direction Y. That's it. I don't care how you guys adapt. You have to actually do this. No, it will never work. People have to get the feeling that they were a part of this creation. Only then they will own it. Or
Hmm.
so this is basic, simple human principles which we have lived always. How do you feel if your parents make you a part of a conversation? Let's
Yeah.
say they're taking a decision about a family and you were a part of it, and you were given an opportunity to put your point across, and then you were made to understand that, okay, what you're saying makes sense, but this doesn't align with the vision of the family. This is pretty much the same thing that we have borrowed and applied here. So why are you treating it as different? As is your employees are your extended family. I mean, come on. I mean, just they work hard. It's kind of a symbiotic relationship. Right? So this is what we actually do. It's actually pretty simple. I mean, if you look at it from a structural point, yes, it's very simple. But the conversations, when once they start happening, that's when the real wealth of information comes out. When the employees give us specifics. Okay, this is where we constantly face a battle, and a minor technological intervention solves that problem, and they are like excited. Wow, with just this much you solved my problem. Like, yes. So it's about having the conversation. I see, because technology wise, if you see, there's so many tools out there.
Yeah.
Plethora. But then the people and the process is always very unique to that organization. You cannot just pick up a technology and just apply it there. So
Yes.
people have to spend time in the people and process part, and that's where even AI can't help you.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
True.
am I making sense here?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You have given us the perspective, like, with AI in place, people are running around because every other day there's a new tool and
Yeah,
new trend that is coming. But
absolutely.
uh, what is at your core is you, your idea, your vision as a founder, plus the
Your
team.
people, the team. Yes.
And engineering solutions along with them and their partnership is a beautiful way of running an organization.
Yes, absolutely. And I've been doing that for 17 years. So whatever I'm saying right now is from pure experience.
Yes.
Pure experience, and it works. For whoever is watching or who will eventually catch up the recording, please
Hmm.
don't underestimate the power of your team. Please
So,
don't underestimate the power of your team. They
so,
just
so
need the right hand holding and the
yeah.
right empowerment. You will be stunned with what your team can do.
So as I'm listening to you in this conversation, I see the potential of the resource that you already have. Maybe that is not at all explored in its in the fullest,
Oh, beautifully put.
right? And this is where we need to begin with, rather than looking at the flashy, trending things
Yes,
outside.
start with the basics.
Yeah. So if somebody is listening, let's say if you could share like who are your ideal customers or clients that Simply Sales is really looking at, impacting in 2026. If you have a vision around it, please share it, and how they can reach out to you. What are the best ways to connect with your team if they need help?
So we are single-mindedly focused on the MSMEs globally, but as of now, we're looking at India and we're looking at the UAE and the Nigerian market right now. Uh, so we believe that they are, at least in India, they contribute to around 49 to 50% of the GDP, and they are neglected. Majority of the advice that they get is in terms of how to raise funds. Nobody talks to them about how do they grow sales. How do they bring in clarity into their process, into their sales chaos. So we are single-mindedly focused on that.
Mm-hmm.
And if people want to reach out to us, then they can always visit our website, www.simplysales.in. So we are a seamless blend of software products and consultation, single-mindedly focused on changing the sales function of an organization. So we have two products, which is SS
Mm-hmm.
Lite and SS Pro. With these are sales management softwares, and then we have our consulting wing, consulting practice, which is called SSH, and then we have like 5 or 6 services in that. So people can pick and choose whichever they want. Plus, we plan to launch one more, which is called as the Founders Compass, that we'll be launching in January. That's predominantly focused on how to manage cash flows for founders.
Hmm.
This is something I swear by: is profit is an opinion, cash is fact.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. So cash is
So
going to pay the bills. Profit is something.
yeah.
It's just an opinion.
Yeah, often, no, I would say firefighting, especially because this is the oxygen that runs the, company. So,
Absolutely.
and only the founder has or maybe the board who is taking care of the sales side or the profit
Yeah.
or the cash flow side knows. But,
You
but
know, you know, you know. As they say, a sale is a gift till such time it is realized as cash in the bank. So we are not in the business of giving gifts out, right?
right, right. So,
People
yes.
should pay.
Yeah, and I would say religiously and with a lot of discipline, this sales, focused activities where you see the money in the bank is
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
where has to be focused. We often run into too many, random things, but
Yeah,
having a process, people around it to execute, will be a blessing to the
absolutely,
founder.
absolutely.
So, moving on, I want to know like leadership mindset directly influence sales culture and results. What you have to say.
100%. I
So,
mean,
any specific examples that you want to give, maybe from your like what like you shifted, like you took over a company, you moved the game, you were starting many other ventures.
yeah.
So, you might have noticed your own influence around. In a nutshell, I would say, no, what has influenced the the culture as well as the results, like primarily.
Yeah, so see, what happens is what we have seen with our experience, with my personal experience also. I was basically a sales guy.
Yeah.
Of course, I was always good in communication, and when I was in my software company, I used to do a lot of in-house trainings for the teams. But then what I saw when we started doing the engagements with Simply Sales, and when I was running my manufacturing company in the
Yeah.
initial years, is that the founder needs to know how to sell.
Hmm.
Very, 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 very important. Of course, I'm not saying that you have to be a sales pro,
Yeah,
but at least you need to be in a position to explain to your team what the customer thinks,
true.
or what is the story behind this product. How do you sell? You might not be, the founder might not be an excellent communicator, or might not be a sales shark, but at least if they know that this is how you need to structure the sales, and then you can bring in a good guy, or a or a lady, and eventually train them. Okay, this is how you need to pass on the message. But that's something which is missing, because most of the founders, they dread selling, because
Yeah.
they feel like uh, selling is something which I'll have to do, and they do it, and they are not good at selling. But the fact is, they are excellent in understanding the customer. They are extremely good in asking the right questions or jotting down the right questions, but probably they lack in communication. So
Hmm.
that shouldn't be a barrier, as long as the wisdom of your product or service married to the vision of your company. Once that is in place and you articulate that beautifully, for that you need not speak. You can even write it. You can even speak it in your own language that you're comfortable with. We will translate it, and
Wonderful.
then eventually you can just pass on the baton, and people will definitely do it. There's no problem. In my case, I was hands-on from a communication standpoint as well. So I used to sell, and my team used to see that
Hmm.
how I used to sell. And then after every sales call, we'll exchange notes. Well, okay, this is what we did. What did you learn? And then after 2 or 3 calls, I will put the guy in front. It's
Hmm.
like, and the thing is, the most important thing from a sales leadership, or any leadership for that matter, is you need to give permission to fail.
Hmm.
It is very, 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 very important. The only thing what I tell my team is, don't make costly mistakes. That's what it is. I mean, don't make costly mistakes, because they know what my quote is. Profit is an opinion, cash is fact. So
Yeah.
just don't make costly mistakes, but experiment, keeping in mind, keeping the costs low. That's how you learn. And once you learn, that's how you grow. Because when you're learning, you're making your own decisions. That's where growth happens. If every point in time, I cannot hold everybody's hand while crossing the street.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's my philosophy. And from a leadership standpoint, to answer your question, the most important thing is you should allow your people permission to fail. Very, very important. Only then they will not shy away from experimentation. And once you start experimenting, that's when the flow of ideas come in, and 1 in 100 will
Hmm.
offset all the mistakes that you've done in the other 99. Make
Great.
sense? I mean,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
okay.
So, you have given us, a more humanized perspective around the sales process, like where it all begins and where it can be, monitored and, navigated in a way that you're building a successful and a sustainable business.
Absolutely.
Right. So before we close, if you have anything that is on your mind for 2026, any advice for the founders, or anything they would, or one belief, if I have to give a clue, any one belief about selling founders must unlearn to grow sustainably.
They have to unlearn.
Yeah.
Yeah, learn to unlearn means, okay, let me think about it. So
Maybe a twisted question.
unlearn the mistrust that they have towards systems.
Wonderful.
Okay, they generally don't trust the systems what they build. They are still policing.
Hmm.
And believe me, you can create frameworks wherein you'll be easily able to spot a trend and then jump in when required. And you
Hmm.
got to be honest with your people that this is what I'm doing, and this is, you got to trust, but you also have to verify and be honest with your team that, okay, this is what I plan to do. If you try to do something, then I would know. So I'm trusting you, but at the same time, I'm verifying. So the unlearning part is unlearn the fact to mistrust the systems that you build. So if you build a system, trust it.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yes. And we can always do better. We can evolve, make it better. Remove things that is not consistent with where we are going, and bring in new pieces that will move the game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that was beautiful, and you have given a very foundational insight, which all founders, as a very basic level, come to building with teams. And definitely, you have shared about your frameworks. But the founders and entrepreneurs who are listening to this and want to explore this side of the sales process, what simply sales makes it easy, simple, and effective,
Yeah.
that we can build a business of our dreams and reduce the overwhelm on
Yeah.
our.
Don't chase technology is what I would say. I mean, because just take a couple of seconds here. So we have this product called SS Lite. So what that was built with the insight that most of the MSMEs, what are they scared of as far as a cloud-based application is concerned? They are scared that if I take a CRM, then my data is with
Yeah.
the vendor, with the software guy. So I don't know if I cancel the subscription, will he give me my data back or she give me my data back? And if my organization scales tomorrow, or
Mm.
without, I mean, let's say I want to hire more sales guys, but I'm not sure, I'm just taking a calculated risk in terms of the people, but I don't want to add on to my technical debt, which is every time I add a new user I have to pay the subscription charges. So
Yeah.
how do we solve this problem? So what we have done is we have solved this with one of the most common tools which people use for managing sales, which is Google Sheets. What we have done is we built a simple form layer in front, and it talks to a Google Sheet behind. And you know who owns the Google Sheet? It is the customer.
Okay.
It is the customer. And since it is in Google Sheets, you go unlimited users for a fixed cost. So that is resonating beautifully with our prospects. That okay, this is fantastic. So you're giving me total control of my data, and
Hmm.
you're capping me on the number of users. So all they are paying me is for that form layer, which is a beautiful form which we have built, in which we can guarantee you will be up and running. Your team will be up and running in under 10 minutes. It is that simple.
Hmm. Wonderful.
Yeah. So that's
So
how you solve the problem. But then eventually, nothing is going to change the fact that people and process is one and two. Technology is third. And please don't get enamored with the AI slop that is happening, because AI is probably a beautiful car like a Ferrari, but
yeah.
fuel is effed up as far as the car is concerned. The car is not going to, and fuel is data.
Hmm.
And data will be captured when process is done right and when people follow it and key in the data. That's
Yes,
what
yes,
should be.
wonderful. So thank you for giving us this insight, and I think those who are listening this on a live or over a replay would be really reflecting on what they need to work on in 2026.
Yes.
Comes to growing your business to a strength that you desire to see
Yeah.
in the upcoming years. So thank you, Shankar, for sparing this time and sharing all the beautiful insights. And it has been a masterclass for me in terms of
Mhm.
really understanding sales from a people and teams and the founder's perspective, where this is your core,
Yeah.
which can get things going.
Absolutely.
And technology comes later. It can be as simple as Google Sheets, as you said. You don't need a CRM immediately, and
Absolutely. Absolutely.
invest on, and new flashy things that
Yes.
are there.
Yes. Absolutely.
So thank you again. And any final message to the people who are watching you live?
I just want to say, wish you all a very, very happy new year and a very prosperous 2026. And here's to putting people and process at the top and technology the last. And I hope if you can just give it a shot, I'm 100% sure that you will definitely feel a change in how things are
Yeah,
happening. Because at the end of the day, we are not in the product business, we are not in the service business, we are in the people business. Please keep that in mind, and wish you a very happy new year.
yeah. Thank you so much, Shankar. And Shankar is available on LinkedIn if you want to reach him
Yeah,
directly.
please.
And he'll be happy to support, and looking forward to more success, more stories, and more insights to share in future conversations whenever we have the time to make. So
All
take
right.
care, and bye for now.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care.